during the night I had an understanding about something. I'm going to say, use the word understanding because that's the best word for it. The Anunnaki prey strongest upon those who have no understanding of who they are. And they had spread out these things so that even if they were gone, their ideals, their things would continue to move and motivate. Is there a plan in place whereby when the divine envelops all things, I mean not just around it, but actually fills it, that it would fill the divine with Anunnaki spores?
No, that can't happen.
Wait a second, guys. Please, listen to me, please. Y'all keep saying something can't happen. And I said, I think this is going to happen. That can't happen. And then it happens. So I'm telling everybody, you need to be very careful in looking through and cleaning out everybody and everything. Because I think there might be and why I use the term spores. Because spores are inert.
Yes.
Until they are activated.
Okay.
So I want second. Apa istihene ha atana no mo li ki iti ana kuna ita ani ina no ai ne o ta nai ka ai na ita no ne ita ma ai le no ha ka ne ita ai ta ne ta na mai ka aone. Yeah, just a minute. Ita anaha le ita atakat no moi ana atana hai iata okana night. Okay, what I am saying is this: I was talking to
everyone,
but especially there was certain ones of the divine who you could tell that the words and the sounds are a little different than sometimes.
Yes.
I want you to look into all that have had an infection from the Anunnaki. Look through them carefully. Look for something inert and quiet and not moving, not making any sounds, not doing anything. Look through them very, very, very carefully. There are, I'm going to say the way I picture like flat, brownish gray spores that are present, and they are inert. They are emitting no sounds, no smells, no light, no darkness, no anything. They're just inert. They are easy to not notice. But just a second. And I put tatina hai ki iti istiaho no namo alana tiha. I'm asking this for the divine to put first go through the divine, for the fine-tooth comb. And once you are aware of them, then you can find them. Remember, like with other things like bombs and things like that. Yes. Once we are aware of them, then we can find them. I have found them, and I do recognize them, and they are like small little spores. And God can work out the exact thing that needs to be done to take care of them. But because they are inert at this particular point in time, they are not growing. They can be... Oh, wait a second. There is a little tiny bit of growth, but it's very subtle, because if it were to become any stronger in their growth, then it would be noticed. So there is a little bit of growth, so they need to be cleaned up, and the area around them needs to be strongly... Hold on a minute. Like an antiseptic bubble? I'm going to say that, like an antiseptic, not just a godlike bubble or a shield, but like an antiseptic bubble around them and the area around them. And that will help to prevent them from growing and cause them to pull in on themselves. which will make them easier to. Just one more second. Something else is coming. These are not to be taken directly to God.
Okay.
There needs to be created some. We will get the exact of it in a minute, in a little bit. It needs to be created like a receptacle for them. And God is to put all of them that are found, everything, everywhere, as it's found, into this receptacle, not brought directly into God. That would cause, it would not be good for God, but it would cause such discomfort.
Wow.
It's not discomfort, but it is something. It would cause something. It is the understanding of that which they understood how to take God light and and create something else with it. They gained enough knowledge from that to know how to affect. It's not affecting the person of God, okay? But it's affecting his energy and sensation in a way, and there'd be so many of them. It would be like stepping in an anthill.
Ah.
So it would be little bits of prickly pain everywhere, and they would be moving and growing in such a way that it would direct all his attention and to deal with it. Because it would be, and he'd have to deal with it. He couldn't just not ignore it, because as long as he ignored it, the more it would grow and create. So it is like that. So all of them must be identified and.
Would vacuuming them up work?
You could vacuum them up, yes. But we have to be vacuumed into a receptacle, and then that receptacle need to be put into a large receptacle that is antiseptic, and I got purple and green and sort of a chartreusey color. I'm getting the information. I'm passing that light image understanding on to God into this. It is to be antiseptic, and it will disintegrate them. And once they are fully, there's going to be a multi-step process where once they're disintegrated, they don't immediately go back to God either. Okay. Okay, hold just a second. Okay, here on Earth, they have nuclear waste. Nuclear waste takes a long time to become safe. It has to be dealt with in a special way in order to not contaminate everything around it. This must be treated the way humans treat nuclear waste. It should not just simply this and then that. It needs to be carefully monitored, carefully seen, and not monitored by anyone who's ever been contaminated. It needs, but someone who understands that contamination. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So it can't be someone who's innocent and unknowing of it, but it can also not be somebody who has been influenced by it. There needs to be this receptacle. All these will be all creation, and also on the edge of creation, on the space where God had placed the boundaries for that which is beyond creation.
Okay.
There are some on that also, so that they just need to be thoroughly gone through. I'm going to say there needs to be placed a calming down of creation, a very quieting of creation, not an exciting of creation. In the quietness of creation, you will notice them easier because there is a bit of a scratchiness to them. And they must be carefully, just like on Earth when you have lead or asbestos, the remediation must be done specifically and in a certain way.
Yeah.
This removing of them must be done specifically in a certain way to remove them, to bring them to a receptacle, and then they're all taken care of in one specific place. and in one specific way, and then the process can begin. There should be placed it outside of time, what would be called time or access, so that it can be dealt with that way. Fine-tuning, adjusting, as seeing how they act and react, and because they have an adaptability quality to them. I'm almost ready to come back and talk with you guys. I'm getting this information fully to God and to those who will be working with this, as to what needs to be made and created and how it needs to be dealt with and seen, how they can be found. I will help in the finding of it. I will help it because but anyone who's going to deal with them has to be make sure to have that which to protect them from them. They are not alive in this sense, but they are. It is, like I said, like fire ant spores. That's the best way to describe.
Yeah.
The fire ant is how they act and react and feel to that which is divine, but they are in an inert state, so they're not doing that right now. But if they get activated, that is what it would feel like. And they had to be dealt with. Okay.